Yo, 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 yo. It looks like I might have sound. Um, Yo, check 1 2, check 1 2. Can you guys hear me? Am I coming through? Um, oh, let me. Here's one thing. All right, you guys should be able to hear me all right. I'm talking on my computer audio, and ideally I don't want to talk on my computer audio. I'd rather use the good mic, but um, you guys should be able to hear me now. Chris says, do the opposite of what you did. All right, is the audio all right? It's just coming through my basic laptop monitor mic or whatever. So let me know if the audio is all right. But we'll get rocking and rolling here in a second. I think we should be good to roll. Sweet. Okay. Sweet. Let me just now we got that figured out. Make sure we get everyone popping in on this so we have a good time. Looks like we got a good crew of you guys over in the Remote Sales Pros group. So if you guys are looking to hang out with everyone as we go through with this, that's usually a good place. I see also it looks like a good crew is over on YouTube right now as well. So if you guys are wanting to tap in a little bit more to the community, plug in there. The chats are going to be a little bit more fun on those channels usually, just because that's where most of the folks are concentrated. So that is that. I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day weekend. We actually had my daughter Nia turned 3, so we had a whole bunch of family in town, and you know how it is. We're just eating and partying and being a family, and now after that, I'm like hungry. I came back today just wanting to just get after the sales grind. So, oh, you guys are rude, dude. You guys are rude. Peter's over here saying I sound cheap. All right, Peter. And Menage, it sounds like I got a hissing. I don't know if that's still going on or if that's over yet, but let me know if it's still going on. But yeah, man, I came back fired up today. I am after it. I have already done like savage morning overall. And so it's been pretty sweet. We've been having a lot of fun. I've been setting appointments like crazy, just kind of getting after cleaning up all the inboxes and all that fun stuff. And so I'm going to talk through a little bit about kind of my approach to what I've been doing today, and just in general. And I'm also going to talk a little bit things just like lead gen, appointment setting, sales in general. What I want to do is give you guys a quick dump of what I've been playing with. And then what we'll do is so today I'm going to do something a little bit different for today's session. And normally what I'm doing is I'm usually calling a little bit more top of funnel folks. On today, I'm going to work a little bit more middle bottom of funnel. So like we're going to be deeper in the funnel. So usually when I'm deeper in the funnel, especially bottom of funnel stuff, it's a lot less automated, big movements like what we do. And then it's a lot more tactical, like one-on-one, customized messaging, intimate messaging, that sort of thing. So I'll be playing with a little bit of that. I'll be going after some of the deeper kind of in the funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel leads, working those a little bit more today, just to give you guys a little bit of a different feel when you guys are playing your prospecting and whatnot. At the end of the day, what you guys will see is the principles are the principles, and the principles will remain unchanged whether or not I'm talking to top of funnel or middle of funnel. What will change a little bit is some of the messaging and the hook and how I get in and how I maneuver that part, and just being a little bit more customized with what people are doing, because whenever we're more customized, that's the more personalized your messages and emotional reacting your messages, then the more you're going to get positive response rates. So that's just a big thing to be thinking about as you guys are going through and you're doing your follow-ups and your outreach. So I've been testing a lot of stuff. Okay, sweet. So I've been testing a lot of stuff on all different domains, and I'm having a lot of fun lately. I don't know why. I've just been like really fired up about everything in the past like several weeks, and I'm having a lot of fun. I've been testing a lot, and I'll give you guys some stuff on what I've tested so far. So overall, I've been just kind of taking LinkedIn and turbocharging LinkedIn outreach. That's been a really fun process. I have amplified our LinkedIn volume quite dramatically over this past month or so. And just to give you guys an idea, I'm actually going to pull up my stats. So one thing so you guys know, like I don't show you guys inside of a lot of this stuff sometimes, because just if people see names, emails, and phone numbers, then that's a huge privacy violation. And the videos will typically get taken down on platform like YouTube and stuff. So I can't show you the back end of that stuff. But what I'm going to show you guys is a little bit of the stats. So let me pull this up here. Boom. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen, right? So my stats are pretty heavy. Like I'm doing about 100 plus touches per day on top of funnel. And it's made up of several different campaigns, so I have basic connection requests going out, I have some group messages, I have some open in-mails, I have some replies that are coming through. So these are generally what I know is I get 40 to 50% positive replies in most cases. So sometimes as low as 30, but 40% tends to be about a typical norm. So like right here, I'll get 4.8 positive replies off of this. I'll convert about 50% of my positive replies. So that's like 2 calls right there, another 2 calls right there. And so that kind of gives me a good sense of how I'm pacing just by looking at that. But you'll see if I actually go back, and sometimes my problem is I have a lot of funnel ADD, so I like to test so much stuff. It's like it's pretty outrageous. But so you'll see like the volume on LinkedIn is now I'll be triple the volume this month relative to last month. So that's been definitely a big thing that we've been testing, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. LinkedIn, the quality has been really good. It just comes down to the messaging. Like you're going to come in with a little bit of a different messaging angle, and the sales process is different. So it's just you guys aren't going to run the same sales process on your outreach that you'll run on your inbound a lot of the times. You can use similar VSLs and similar assets in the middle of the funnel, but you're not always going to be running the same stuff like that. So in this case, there's a few key things that I have to flip in order to get the sales to work properly. But LinkedIn outreach has definitely been one. I've tested Hyperize. I don't know if you guys know what Hyperize is, but Hyperize is pretty cool. To be honest, I haven't seen a major result out of Hyperize. I thought I would see more from Hyperize. So I actually have 2 connector campaigns that I'll show you guys really fast. I did think that I was going to get more of a result from it, but I just didn't see it. So I'm gonna let me pick. Okay, cool. Let me show you guys here what I'm seeing. So this is a Hyperize. Basically, there's a customized GIF here, and So my replied connection rate, it's basically the same in terms of replied to other and replied to total. I'm not seeing much of a big advantage. So you see like here, this campaign didn't have it and it was doing about 8% and change, and this one does have it and it's only doing 6%, or really, was that 7% and change. So this is actually performing a little bit worse even with Hyperize, which I thought I was going to see a major boost in response rates, but it didn't end up being the case. But Hyperize is pretty cool. I'm going to keep testing it, and my goal is to try and get definitely a big boost out of that with Hyperize. The other big thing that we've been doing is, so I've been testing a lot of cold email this week and whatnot, and cold email has been performing pretty well, and in general we're just scaling cold email now. And so this goes back to what I was saying before, like a lot of why I'm reverting to outreach more lately is I've had some issues with my compliance on my ad accounts. So Facebook has just shut down my Instagram account. They're doing like a bunch of shit just to make my life a pain in the ass. And in the process, I had to diversify traffic sources to make sure that we weren't like stuck in a situation where all our eggs are in one basket. And this is ultimately what I want for you guys, whether you're on campaigns as sales reps or you're the business owners. What I want for you guys is to be able to have that flexibility, to be able to roll in and out of different lead gen campaigns, and to have a really solid structure where, like what you maybe have heard me talk about the past few weeks with diversified lead gen, I want you guys to have diversified traffic sources. Specifically, what I want you guys to have is one inbound, one outbound, one sideways prospecting mechanism. When you guys have all three of those, then you may not have all three active at all times, but you want to be able to activate any of them at any given time, because what you're going to find is there are going to be certain periods where you're going to get better returns off of one channel, so you're going to double down on that one channel. Like say, for example, there were periods of time where Facebook was the main channel that was working amazing, so we weren't really like pushing a lot of cold email or a lot of LinkedIn as heavy, so we could concentrate our management efforts, but we had it still in the background always as an alternative. So if for whatever reason our ad accounts bottomed out, we could just crank up on the other side, which is what you're seeing me do. So that's that in terms of diversified lead gen. I wanted to run through some of these ideas because I just think these are like such crucial ideas for you guys to make sure you're understanding, and that you guys are understanding and you're working on all of your traffic platforms basically. Like I want you guys to know where your market's at and know how to generate massive amounts of conversations and attention inside of that market. Sweet. So let me just double check the chat. I want to make sure if you guys are dropping anything in the chat that I'm with y'all. Any questions you guys have too, feel free to drop those in the chat. Sweet. Ooh, Brad's talking dirty to me. Brad said I can invade his privacy in the back end. That is nasty. And about Twitter, so I haven't been playing on Twitter as much lately. I think Twitter's a massive channel. Like there's fucking killer traffic on Twitter. I have a couple, me and actually Kyle, we did an episode recently. I don't know if you guys know who Kyle is, but so Kyle runs AdLegs. Kyle Solarud is his name. He runs AdLeg. He's one of the top YouTube ad buyers, and he's really freaking smart. Great guy. We have an interview actually that should be coming out here soon. And in it we talk about Twitter and stuff. And I had been testing Twitter at the time. This is probably about 2-3 months ago. I had been testing Twitter. You'll see my Twitter account sometimes goes on and off because like I'll test stuff, but I just, for whatever fucking reason, I don't see the kind of traction on my account that I want to see, and I get traction on other places, and then just usually will double down or reallocate to where I'm getting traction. But Twitter's there, man. Like, and I've tested ads on Twitter before to some extent. The quality of the traffic was pretty good. The interface is easy to use, and like for all of you guys as sales reps too, I want you guys to know how to buy media or buy ads on other platforms, because when you're good at that, it's just an amplification of your sales ability, right? So copywriting is salesmanship in print. Print gives thought leverage. So if you guys are able to take your salesmanship and put it into print, you're able to amplify or leverage your sales. Just like one-to-many selling would give leverage to your selling. Well, so to be able to take that copy and put it into ad, that's a glorious opportunity as a sales rep. And like, to live in an era where it's this easy to throw up an ad on major platforms is insane. Um, so Brad says, I noticed for reach, give dope asset, must retweet and follow to get asset. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing too. And then I'm interested to see how people are doing with that, if you're boosting that at all. I think maybe the thing is I hadn't tested boosting it. I've been testing it to my organic, and that just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So I actually appreciate that, Brad. You gave me inspiration. I'm going to test something like this, and I'll come back to you guys with what I find on it, because I do think there's just, like, I've seen a couple of those thread campaigns just blow up on Twitter. So it's super interesting, like all the platforms and all the traffic. The reality is there's no one platform that's better than another platform. Everybody says like, oh, this is the best platform. It's bullshit. There's no best platform. The best platform is the one where your audience hangs out, and specific types of people will hang out more on types of platforms. So, the example I like to use a lot is if I'm going to target a recruiter, obviously I'm going to be on LinkedIn more than any other platform. Then I tend to find, if you're going after fitness offers or what have you, or more B2C offers, Facebook and Instagram can oftentimes be better traffic channels for that. If you're in the more B2C space, you're in the more dealing with personal brands, like Twitter as a channel works amazing, LinkedIn works amazing. So just know your channel, right? And know your market. If I'm going after dentists, for example, so we got a new guy who's coming on board who's working with dentists, which I've been really excited about. But in terms of dentists in general, cold outreach doesn't work to dentists. Cold emails typically won't land in dentist inboxes. They have too many filters. Cold calling doesn't work as well on dentists because you're going to hit the gatekeepers. And there's always a way to figure out how to make that stuff work, right? So I don't want to say it's impossible to make anything work. There's always a way to figure it out, but sometimes it's just not worth the effort, and there's easier channels. Whereas if I'm selling into the dental niche, two of my favorite channels are easily ads. So doctors respond very well to ads and come inbound incredibly well. So I would definitely be on ads pretty heavy. The other thing is industry events. And so attending industry events, going to industry events, with the dental community, for whatever reason, just being present at industry events and planting those seeds goes a really long way. And it helps make your advertising a lot more effective, because then when they're seeing those further impressions, they know that you're a real person and that you're kind of in the game. So if you're building an agency targeting a niche, you want to make sure that the prospecting platforms that you're using are going to be aligned with that niche, because each niche is going to have certain behaviors. Like insurance agents, cold calling works amazing if I'm going after insurance agents, because insurance agents are trained to respond to numbers that they don't know the actual numbers of. Same with real estate agents. Cold calling works great on real estate agents because real estate agents are trained to answer numbers that they don't know. It's part of their business, it's part of their livelihood, versus doctors, they intentionally don't answer numbers that they don't know. And they actively avoid numbers that they don't know. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily be cold calling in that situation. I would try to find whatever's a more efficient traffic channel or source. So another really good one is podcasting is a killer one if you're going after someone like doctors or things that are a little bit more, because the way doctors work, if you understand their buying process a lot of times, is they'll sit there and then they want to research this shit on their own at night. So they'll come home from the day and they want to research this stuff on Google, and they'll be Googling it, and they'll be getting served the ads and starting to go down the funnels and stuff like that. And so when you're in the right place at the right time and you have a little bit of a real world effect too, that goes a really long way. Sweet. So I got some leads coming through right now. Actually, I'm gonna message a guy. He said, "Hey Mike, I'm looking for closers." So let's see what we got. So I just asked him how many you need. Let's see. We'll hit some sets here. Oh, sweet. He's already responding. So I'll keep you guys posted on how the combos flow. Let me see where we at. Oh, crap. Let me get back to you guys, actually. Sweet. So I asked how many he needs. He said 6. Said scale time and sent him a rocket. So we'll see. Sweet. So I'm doing something that's a little bit interesting here, and this comes down to a lot of what I teach about buyer sophistication. So I'm breaking a lot of rules. This is the old Picasso thing. Like, you got to know the rules if you're gonna break the rules. So I'm breaking some rules right now, and I'm curious to see how this plays out. I have a good feeling on my read. Boom. Brad's dropping some fire here. So he's saying channels that he's seeing performs well on specific markets in our scaling high ticket group. Always love having Brad in the room. So SaaS, cold email, yep, that works. Real estate, YouTube is fucking, that crushes actually. Salespeople, text message. I like text message in general. I tend to believe in text message as like one of the best fucking platforms, period, point blank. They're tightening up a little bit on regulation and making sure you guys have your stuff all registered. So make sure you guys are playing compliant, because you guys, yeah. Just so you guys know, as sales reps, for every fucking violation you guys have on can spam on SMS, it's a $500 fine. So like, if you SMS and bulk SMS and you're breaking rules on 1,000 numbers at once, like that's a $500,000 fine per SMS when you're breaking those rules. So just like keep that shit in mind, because you guys can put yourself at a lot of risk, or put the business owners at a lot of risk. You want to make sure you guys are familiar with all the rules as you are doing this stuff. Like, you know, give people opt-outs, manage your list properly. Like, if you're going to break the rules, knowing your list, knowing how to do it right. So that's a big one. And Gus, I'm glad you caught that. So Gus put in the comments just print leverages thought. That's a bomb right there, and that is a fucking huge bomb. Like, print leveraging thought. Once you guys realize that, like, turning what you're doing into content or code is one of the best things that you guys can do to accelerate your career. Because ultimately, like, our goal is extremely reliable leverage. That's what I really want. I want extremely reliable leverage, which print is exactly that, right? So it gives you massive, massive leverage. All right, sweet. Let me see. All right, he hasn't responded yet, so I'm gonna keep an eye on this combo, because that's a hot one. And then let me see where the rest of y'all folks are at. Sweet. So I just I'm going through the Facebook group too, looking at what we got coming through on our Facebook groups in terms of traffic. Just one thing that I want to put on your guys' radar. So when I'm for our stuff, like when I'm looking at what's working and what's not working in terms of sets, usually my big three are SMS, email, and Facebook group, and that's more for middle of funnel sets, is what I mean. But like SMS, email, and Facebook group, those are just like the fucking killers. They crush super hard. So, boom, let me see where we're at. So yeah, I know this is a little bit different today, you guys, but I'm cruising through all our inboxes. I'm cruising through like boom, there's a guy. All right, sweet. That's probably a no. That's a no. Okay. Cruising. Oh, I got a LinkedIn lead over here. Boom. So one of my favorite questions, you guys, and this is just, it's so deceivingly simple, is, do you want to book an appointment? Like, so good. Or do you want to book a quick call to discuss key benefit? That's also another really gold mine of a question. Like when you guys play with, do you want to book a quick call to discuss key benefit, or do you want to schedule a call? Those are huge. Like they seem really subtle. Do you want to book a quick call to discuss key benefit, or do you want to schedule? I'm echoing. Sorry. They seem really subtle, but they're freaking major. Like those things are major. So that's a lot of fun when you guys play with that. That's another tool for you guys to use. I'm cruising through here. Let me see what we got on the side over here. Also, if you guys have any questions while we're cruising through this, let me know. Cool. It looks like this guy's. All right, I'm gonna shift gears a little bit, and I'm gonna actually hit up some of the email lists. So now I've cleaned up Facebook group. Actually, I got one more thing to do in that Facebook group that would be worth probably hitting up. And then I probably have some people at the middle of the funnel on the email list, and then I have some people as well in terms of applications. So I'm probably going to hit the applications first because I think that's probably my best bet. And then sweet. Okay, so one of the things that I do is I personally make people apply and then I don't let them book. And it's just on one of our funnels, and part of the reason is just because I get a lot of people that sometimes try and book calls and I don't want to talk to them. Oh, sweet. Hold on. Here we go. Sweet. So I just got a referral that came through. Dude, this is so fun sometimes. You guys, I'm hoping it's as fun for you guys to watch me doing this, watch me do this, but I'm having a blast right now, just like crushing responses. And so ultimately that's my goal for you guys, is that you guys are seeing this, you're picking up, okay, cool. One little hack too, if you guys are using your LinkedIn outreach, so you can filter your LinkedIn inbox by unread messages. That will save you a lot of time and headache and overwhelm. So I encourage you guys to use that as a little trick too. Sweet. Thanks, Alden. We can definitely do that. I appreciate the intro, and I would love a connect there. Okay, so someone says, I haven't gotten a response on a text follow-up. Can you touch on that? Can you paste the text follow-up inside of the chat? That's a great question, and that I want to give you something that will get them to reply back, because that's a lot of fun for me. So yeah, if you have a text follow-up that you haven't heard back from, then we'll drop the actual like message and a little bit of context in the chat, and then we'll go back to it. Sweet. I got a reply back. He said, and if the 4 aren't what I'm looking for, then I'm just gonna say, sweet. Okay, so back to that combo that I've had. He said, if the 4 aren't what I'm looking for, I said, we have a 30-day total satisfaction guarantee. It might be easier to sync up on all the details via a quick call. So obviously my goal, what I did and what I said when I was breaking rules. So he was looking to hire a lot more. I can also see, it looked like he had a 2 Combo Club picture in his profile, which usually that's an indication of someone who's a little bit more sophisticated as a marketer. All right. Anyway, he said, if the 4 aren't what I'm looking for, I said, we have a 30-day total satisfaction guarantee. It might be easier to sync up on details via a quick call. So reason is I have a lot more context and stuff, but usually the more sophisticated people, they think that they have no time, so they want to get the details really fast. So I put the offer out over message, but there's some context stuff that needs to be sorted out. So I kind of left that open-ended, and now I push a call. And at that point, once I can get them on a call, I'll generally get the deal. So that is why I did what I did. So some cool little bit of psychology that's underneath the surface there for y'all. All right, let's take a look at what else we got. We got this referral guy, Rich, who's reaching out. Let me put actually his name in the CRM. So he told me his name. He didn't have his name in the system before, so now I'm just adding his name into the system. Always best practice is to maintain your hygiene here. Let's see. One thing that's pretty funny, actually, you guys, I'm gonna give you a little trick. Who wants a little trick? I'm gonna make you guys request it. Comment. Nah, give me a fire emoji if you want a banger trick. I got like a little secret trick for you guys that a lot of sales reps make a mistake here, or business owners too, when they're doing this. But I have a little trick for you guys. So this one's gonna be really fun. And then I'm gonna go back. So Gus mentioned that he had a response on a text follow-up, or he had a text follow-up but hasn't gotten a response yet. It was a follow-up from demo, set it for around this time, but I texted her to be on this call. I said, hi there, hope you had a good weekend and holiday. When can we jump back on a call? Okay, sweet. So, hi there, hope you had a good holiday weekend. When can we jump back on a call? All right, let me break down this message here, first of all. So there's a lot to learn inside of this message. I'm going to, in fact, share my screen so you guys can see it, and then I can highlight pieces of it and then break down the psychology of it. So I want you guys to start thinking more detailed, basically, and especially like, what does this person want? Okay, so hi there. I hope you had a good holiday weekend and holiday. When can we jump back on a call? Okay, so I would be curious, and this is how detailed and nitpicky I get. I would be curious if you sent this exactly this way or if there was a question mark, because a question mark will definitely elicit higher response rates. So that's one thing. First of all, I would just have a question mark because that's generally going to get you a lot more response rates. One thing that I do that works really well too is I'll intentionally leave the question mark out of it and then send the question mark as the next text by itself. But I don't always do that. That's a very rare thing. More often than not, I like to use just a single question mark as a follow-up. That works incredibly well to bump back to the top of the inbox. But, okay, so here's a few things. We prioritize whatever is relevant. I'm going to say this one more time. We prioritize whatever is relevant. I want you guys to write this down. We prioritize whatever is relevant. So let's expand on what I mean when I say we prioritize what is relevant. So for each of us, there are certain things in the world that are incredibly relevant, right? And we like whatever is the most relevant to us. So my name's Michael. Obviously, anyone named Michael, I have an instant affinity towards, right? Because they're like me, and Michael is relevant to me, therefore I like them, right? Floridians, anyone from Florida, especially if people know Winter Park or Orlando, or they know St. Pete or Fort Lauderdale, we're going to have a stronger connection, stronger affinity, right? It's because Florida is extremely relevant to me, and Mike or Michael is extremely relevant to me. Therefore, I'm naturally more interested in them. Now, when you guys are selling in markets, there's a primary promise that moves your market, and you'll notice most of the companies will move around this primary promise, right? So primary promise examples are, book X number of appointments in X number of days. So you'll see that works a lot with agency owners, and you'll see a lot of offers out there that say, I'm booking 2 to 3 appointments a day, or book 100 appointments in a month, or book 50 appointments in a month. I've run those offers, they flat out work, right? So it's because sales calls is what that person is thinking about literally all fucking day. It's like they do client money math, which is, I want to make 20 grand a month. My price is 5 grand. I need 4 clients a month. In order to get 4 clients, I close 20%. Then I need to be able to take 5 calls a week. If I take 5 calls a week, then I'm going to hit my goals. So if I really want to make sure I do it, then I'm going to take actually 7 to 10 calls a week, because then I know my goals are inevitable, right? So everything coming back to the sales calls, and that's why if you promise sales appointments, then people will move for that. And so that's just an example of what's relevant to a specific market. But every market has a primary promise that is relevant to it. So real estate investors, they want to get cash flow, or real estate investors, they want to get equity, or real estate investors, but most of them it's cash flow. They want cash flow. They want a certain number of doors. They want they need funding or private money. They need cash buyers. They need motivated sellers. Like, that's what they're telling themselves in their own language of what they're looking for on a day-to-day basis. So my goal is my messaging is going to line up with what they're looking for on a day-to-day basis, right? And so that's why, if you guys notice when I'm doing my dials or I'm doing any of my outreach, a lot of it's hooked around 9 words, or are you looking for, are you interested in, have you considered, whatever the key benefit is. But my goal is to get to relevance of key benefit as fast as humanly fucking possible, which you've not hit a single key benefit inside of here at all. In fact, jumping on a call right now in the way it's framed is only of value to you, not to this person. Because you're basically desperately asking to get on a call instead of, hey, did you have any other questions you wanted to run through together on a call? Now they have questions, and I implied they have questions, and by me asking that, do you have questions, it creates questions, right? So then it creates a reason for a call. Right now you have no reason for a call. The reason for the call is because you want it. That's not a good enough reason for a call. So the subtle psychology in just 2 fucking sentences is pretty big here, and I hope you guys are picking up on what I'm putting down right now. If you are, give me a little love, drop an emoji as well, but I want to make sure you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. So what I would say, for example, is, hey, did you have any other questions about getting key benefit? Right? So, hey, did you have any more questions about getting closings off of Facebook? Hey, did you have any more questions about getting motivated sellers off of Facebook? Hey, did you have any more questions about generating listings from Facebook? Hey, did you have any more questions about using Facebook ads to get new listings? Right? That message is now on their form of relevance. It's a 10 out of 10. So there's an old saying that Warren Buffett has. It's ants go to the honey, right? And so ants go to the honey means that incentives and understanding people's incentives is key in order to figure out how to move people properly, right? And so what moves a real estate agent is the question. And the question, because this person specifically is talking to real estate and serving real estate agents. So what moves a real estate agent? Wanting listings, closings, motivated sellers, referrals. You know, those are the things that they're talking about on a day-to-day basis. This is what they're thinking about on a day-to-day basis. Other things that they would, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't even go further than that, because you probably, if you go further than that, you're going too far. Listings, motivated sellers, closings, those are pretty much all they really care about. And so as a result, if you just stay focused on what's relevant to them in your questioning, you're going to get more follow-ups, right? You guys are losing a lot of your follow-ups because you're talking about what's relevant to you. And what's relevant to you is a call. They don't give a fuck about a call. These people don't give a single fuck about a call. You got to understand that. They don't want to get on the phone. The vast majority of people actively want to not be on the phone with you, right? That's their goal. The vast majority of people want to not be on the phone with you. If whatever they can do to not be on the phone is a fucking huge win for them. That's in their mind how they're thinking through this stuff, right? So we have to, as salespeople, create the desire for the call. And the desire for the call comes by anchoring whatever the key things that they're looking for to the call itself, right? So they're going to get whatever core benefit or escape from key pain is by attending this call. That's what my job is in anchoring this benefit to that, right? And a lot of times the big benefit that they really want is an answer to a specific question. So anytime I can set calls based on answering questions, it works great. So I just set actually an appointment here. The guy that reached out and said he was looking for sales reps, I said it might be easier to sync up on the details via quick call. He said, yeah, let's do it, right? So now I got, boom, I'm getting my set right now. And it comes because, though, I created a question, and through the question then I set it up to where now he needs to chat. And that's basically how I set up that win. Let me just hit him back. Sweet. So I just hit him with basically a simple double alternative. This time or this time work for you. We'll see if he says no, but we'll go from there. So it looks like I just set a super fucking qualified lead. My goal is to set him for today. Let's see how that rolls. All right, sweet. So I got these fire emojis from all you guys. Let me go back to what I was saying is the fun thing. But I hope you guys got a lot out of, actually, before we go into the fun thing and going back, I'm jumping around a little bit today, but I'm having fun. So as long as you guys are having fun, that's all that I care about. But I want to just quickly ask you guys, what were your major insights from the dissection of the follow-up text that we just did? So put those in the chat. I want to hear what your major insights were from that follow-up dissection. So I just saw an answer come through. It says open and closed loops. Fuck yes, dude. You got to understand, you guys, TV right now is so big, right? Like, Amazon's in the TV business at this point. That's how big of a fucking industry Amazon TV is. It controls attention, right? And so any of these series, Apple's in the TV business, right? Why are Amazon and Apple in the TV business? Because they're in the fucking business of attention. They're not stupid. They understand that attention is the real asset, and they're trying to monopolize attention, or they want to control as much attention as they possibly can. So in order to do that, they create TV series. And inside of the TV series, they literally end every fucking episode on an open loop. You got to understand why they're doing that. It's to control the attention. And the longer you can control and hold attention, the more valuable we perceive that thing to be. And because we've controlled and focused that attention on that thing for as long as we have, now they're like, I have to do this. This is valuable for me. And so that's the whole beauty of this game, right? Is like, the longer you're on the Amazon website, the more likely you're going to order some random shit on Amazon. The longer you're on the Apple website, the more likely you're going to be subscribed to Apple Music, and you're going to buy movies or rent movies, and you're going to get more shit from them. And then they're going to serve ads to you too. So these guys aren't stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. And they're doing it with good reason. So definitely drop whatever your guys' insights were that you guys got from that SMS dissection, because that was a lot of fun. But there's some big stuff there, and I'd highly encourage you to go back and check that again a little bit later, and even potentially bring what your follow-up SMSs that you're using and then reference them to what you read there and what you heard me say, because just that little bit of an exercise will help you guys make sure you're hitting your follow-ups massively. Like, taking the language and getting really clear on the core part of what your audience wants is such a major key. That's it. It's like leaving questions for your customer for the second call. Keep them intrigued. And that's what we're doing, right? The goal is to leave those questions. And then the motivation for the call is to get the questions answered, not to make a decision. If you make the motivation or the reason for the call to make a decision, they'll make the decision without you. If you make the motivation for them to get questions answered, they'll show up with questions, which means they have an open mind, which means they're more influenceable. So you can then control the frame. Yep, and focus on their incentive and the motivation and the questions they have. Exactly. Ants go where the honey is. So figure out what the honey is for your market. What's the key promise that motivates your market? Is it passive cash flow? Is it financial freedom? Is it implant patients? Is it listings? Is it leads? Is it booked appointments? Is it sales calls? Is it new clients? Is it a case? You know, what is the terminology that your market uses, and then figure that out. And when you do, it will make your life so much fucking easier and better. Sweet. Okay, I'm checking a couple things. Nice. Another thing too. Okay, so another thing that I do a lot when I'm setting appointments, just FYI, is there's something that's called recency bias, right? And there's also something that is called primacy bias or primacy bias. So basically what this means is things that come first and things that come last stand out in our attention. And so a lot of times what I do when I'm designing the questions, like you guys, I wish I can fucking explain how nerdy it is and how much thought goes into designing one question, right? One question. It's just literally, and it seems so simple, but it's just one tiny little question. But like an example of it is, I just asked this guy when I was setting him. I said, you want to connect for a quick call to discuss hiring sales reps. So you'll notice that hiring sales reps is the last 3 words, and it's with insane amounts of intention that's happening, right? It's because if that's the last thing he's thinking about, that's usually the trigger point that gets most people, like that's the core currency that people are coming to me with, is they want to hire sales reps so that they can do blah, blah, blah. And then, initially the bait that I'm fishing with is hiring sales reps. So when they come in and like, yo, I want to hire sales reps, it's like, okay, easy. And then from that point, I can go from there. So that's why you want to connect for a quick call. Notice I put quick too to make sure that they feel like it's short, and it helps keep them in hot cognition. When you use fast, quick, it tends to keep your people in a faster cognition state, which then it's better for you in the long run. And then you want to connect for a quick call to discuss hiring sales reps. Boom, that's it. And stuff as simple as that is how it works. Like it's pretty wild how crazy it can work when you guys do that. Okay. Tweet you guys. We're coming up on time here. If you guys have any questions, drop any questions you guys have here. I would also love to know what your key takeaways are, what major insights you've been able to pull out of today's call. I hope you guys got a lot from it. I just freaking tore this thing up. So I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. And I was moving fast. So you guys may want to go back and catch this on a replay. Watching it a couple times speed, because there's a lot of little details, and this was one of those calls where in some of these calls I like to focus on one big idea as we go through it, and on some of these calls, which that's more what I do, but this was one of those calls I wanted you to see like a lot of the practical play-by-play stuff, and break down a lot of small practicalities, which I hope that helped you guys to see how to connect all the dots and make it all work. But we look like we got a couple solid sets here. While I was here, just literally working the opportunities, telling you guys exactly what I was doing. It looks like we were able to pull in 2-3 sets from what I'm seeing at the very least. And I'm probably going to keep working opportunities when we wrap up here, just for a little bit, and then I can roll into a call. But that's the name of the game, man. We're going to roll up our sleeves, get in here, ask some good questions, and when we do, we get the right folks in front of us. And we get them with the right mindset, and then the rest moves from there. So let me see what questions y'all got. I'm going to hang around for maybe another minute or two. If any of you guys are potentially looking to go deeper, and maybe you're not yet working with us and you're wondering how you get in and get to working with us, go to scalewithmikemark.com. That's the best place, and there's an application there. You guys can fill that out. This is for you guys if you're a sales rep or a business owner. We have different offerings, so just kind of based on what you put in that form, I'll take a look at what you guys got and then recommend whatever makes sense. And happy to connect with y'all. So scalewithmikemark.com if you guys are looking to potentially go further, take this deeper. Cool. I'm glad you guys got some key stuff out of here. Manoj looks like he said salesman and print. Yep. Print gives thought leverage. That's a major fucking insight. I want to really drive that one home. So cool. Unpacking different variations of messaging. Yes. And so just keep in mind, whatever their key benefit is, try to get to that as quickly as possible. Right? Try to get to their key benefit in as few words as possible, and put that key benefit at the front of your sentences or at the end of your sentences. That's a really subtle little trick, subtle little hack, but it's going to help you guys really crush this. A lot of y'all, one of the most common things I'm seeing with you guys as sales reps in general and business owners in general is you guys are extremely informative, trying to answer a lot of questions, and you add too much in your copy. Tyler, I'm going to pick on you a little bit. So you had an email reply to an opportunity we introed you on, and you wrote just a little bit too much. So I want you guys to try and figure out how to be as pithy as possible. You'll notice that my responses are oftentimes only 1 sentence to 3 sentences. A lot of times they don't go much more than that, especially in email. So the more pithy you guys are, it forces you to be more thoughtful with what you're putting into your message. and it tends to be received better because their brain doesn't have to process the information. So like, think about what I want you guys to think about is sometimes like read Donald Trump tweets. You know, like politics aside, just the tweets and like how pithy he is with his language. It's the reason why it worked as well as it did. It's because he was able to bypass conscious filtering and talk straight into people's subconscious mind by using incredibly simple and primitive language. Like, it's mind blowing when you look at the actual persuasion aspects of it. And I recommend you guys, like, I try to make sure I'm typing at a 3rd grade reading level. I try to make sure that I'm as pithy as possible. And as you guys put that into it, it's going to help you guys a lot. Yep, so keep it short and sweet. Be more direct is the main thing. A lot of y'all beat around the bush a little bit too much, or you add too much into it and you water down the key punchy aspect of what the focus needs to be. So, you know, a lot of times like what's happening is someone just is thirsty and they want to drink, and you guys are like, oh, if you go here, they got burgers and they got fries and they got this and they got rides and they got all kinds of cool shit, and the person's like, dude, I just want to fucking drink. And you guys are talking too much. So that's the only thing I want you guys to think about is like, how do I strip this down to whatever the key benefit is that's most relevant to this person? And when you're doing that, you're actually doing this person a major service, because effectively what you're doing is you're cutting through the noise to be able to communicate to their subconscious mind. And that's a major service that you're doing for your prospects. So keep your shit short, keep your shit punchy. Try not to go above like 1 to 3 sentences a lot of times. Someone says website again, please. Oh, you go to scalewithmikemark.com. Scalewithmikemark.com. It should take you just an application page, and then just fill that out, and then I'll take a look at whatever you put in there and figure out what makes sense for you, and then be able to connect there. Sweet. Looks like we are rocking today. Good call, you guys. Appreciate y'all for coming in. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. And I look forward to helping you guys scale any way that we can. So that's it. Peace, gang. Go close some deals, change some lives, make some money.